Alright, and welcome back. So, a couple of quick announcements and a comment here before we get going. First off, I'll let you know this is the second time I've attempted to record this. My computer decided to run a bunch of updates that shut it down when I was about halfway done with the previous recording. But we're going to start over here with you guys, since it was all deleted anyway. And get on with the video. So, quick announcement. This is the last day, as in today, to put in your votes for the next project. To make sure that we all know, we're either going to be building a town along the river a little farther upstream. It's going to be a farming town, windmills, barns, that sort of thing. Or we're going to be building a port city, sort of in this area, possibly even wrapping around this edge. Pretty self-explanatory. It's a city with a port, but that'll be a whole lot of fun too. Currently, the vote is sitting, I think, at between 1 and 2 votes ahead for the farming town. So right now, that's leaning what we're going to do, but votes are going to continue to count all the way up to midnight Alaska time. But getting on to today's content, so we're just going to do some finishing touches and extra details for this town area here for River's End. We will come back to this. We'll be adding more, of course, over the course of the channel. But for now, this will be sort of our cumulative last thing to really just tie this town together. We got a couple of different possibilities. For sure, we're going to build another sailboat kind of like this one here, but a little bit bigger. And I'm thinking we'll probably build 2 or 3 other small things and have that be the episode. We'll see how long it ends up being. But we're going to get started on that. So I'm thinking that we go over here and we build the sailboat coming out from behind this cliff face around this area. And then imagine kind of like it's sailing back into port from a long day of fishing. That's my thought process. So I'm going to go get started on that and get back to you once I've got a basic framework. Alright, and we're back. So I've got a nice framework here. I'm thinking a little bit of a lower boat. Something sleek but can hold a lot of weight on a larger surface without a lot of material, you know? Not something for a heavy weather day, but of course, you know, we can't just build a boat without building a nice hull underneath, so put a little bit of work into that. You can sort of see the shapes that are going on there. Left a flat edge here, of course, with the rudder. And a nice sleek design. And of course continues up above the waterline. Sort of a dipping design here. Makes it easier for loading and unloading. And a little bit less tippy in general, which is good for stacked goods, which we'll of course be having on here. I'm leaning right now in the direction of a 2-masted ship. So we'll have sails coming out from here up to this middle mast. Then we'll have a sail coming off here, and then we'll have rigging between these two, but we'll sort of leave this middle space open for cargo primarily. So I'm going to get on the sails and rigging and the more function elements of the ship, and I'll get back to you here in just a minute. Alright, and we're back. So I decided to completely dismiss the 2-mast idea and chose to go with one centered one. And then really focus some weight into these 2 sails to really be able to push this thing forward. I feel like this boat would be pretty fast, you know? Put a flag on top, of course. Always got to have a flag with boats. Just so much fun. It was a bit tricky for me to try and get a good wind sail shape on this particular one. Not really sure how I feel about it right now. It's not going to get better or worse for now. We might change it up a little bit. But for now, it's going to stick with something close to this, if not just this entirely. But next step here, and the way we're going with this video, it's looking like we'll pretty much be doing the boat today, and then I'll just show you a couple of things here at the last minute for the video. But I'm going to go in, I'm going to add some detail work, including adding some panel coloring and some crates and stuff, and I'll get back to you here in just a minute. Alright, and we're back. So, what I've done here is I've textured it just like I did with the boat down there. I mean, same town, same boat style, right? So we've got the birch and oak plank mix. We've got all sorts of cargo sitting on the deck, plus a little bit of cargo underneath. It's a small underneath the ship, so not a lot of cargo. We've got the anchor up here with some line. We've got a fore and aft lantern as well as a top sail lantern. I'm going to arbitrarily choose that that's required by law so that you can see where ships are on the ocean. That'll avoid any collisions in the future. At least in the lore of this world, we're not going to actually be able to run boats into each other. I wish that would be a really cool feature, but oh well. For another time, we've got the rudder in the back, handled by this here. The lever unfortunately doesn't turn it, but we can all imagine, right? And then, of course, that's what we've got here. So, that's it for this ship. I'm going to go in, I'm going to build a couple of other things. Probably not nearly as advanced as this, but just like maybe some rocks over here or a tree over there, something like that. I'm not sure. And when I get back to you, I'll give you a quick tour of those, and that'll be it for the video. Alright, and we're back. So, what you'll notice here right away is that I have in fact changed the boat a little bit. I'm not sure how I feel about it. I put in the gray to try and break up the texture. You know, too much white can be a little off-putting, but let me know in the comments what you think. And if you've got any other ideas for what I could do, feel free to let me know. But let me take you quickly on a tour of the other stuff that I've been working on as well. Did a couple of other smaller builds and little additions here and there. I think you'll like them. So we'll start off by going over this way. Bottom right, we're not going to comment on. That's going to be a little surprise. Special comment, if you are a new viewer on the channel and you do look close and figure out what that little thing is down there, leave it down in the comments for the other viewers, and I'll be sure to respond to you. So the first thing I went and did is I built this quick little custom tree. Nothing super special about it, just sort of towered up with blocks and then sort of spread them out in different directions, and then sort of just quickly filled in. Left a couple of blocks just sort of hanging down. I feel like that adds a lot. And then I've got three different types of leaf blocks. Some of the newer leaf-like blocks, I'm not sure what they're called yet. And then I've got, of course, oak and spruce, because they've got a very different texture and color palette, I feel like. Anyway, moving on. So then you got over here, sort of a filled up graveyard. It's on the older end. It's got a lot of life and flowers and stuff. If you remember, you saw it in the thumbnail. It's just got a really nice look that really finishes off this church, I think. But moving on, along the pathways, I put a bit more bone meal and just overall added more plants. I feel like that just spices up some areas. And then moving on to down here, you'll notice along the docks, like there and there, I added some traditional Minecraft boats of varying colors. Oh, look at that, we have some turtles. Anyway, and then over to the last thing I added, we have a little garden for our lighthouse keeper. I felt like, all the way out here it'd be quite a trek to go all the way back there to get food, so he can grow some of his own. I felt like that was a little bit nice. Can garden as ships like that sail in and out of the bay, which I feel like would be a really nice relaxing place. I mean, you're probably working a lot, but still, take what you can. Anyway, that's really all we're going to do this episode. If you enjoyed, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe. And if you've got anything you would recommend for me to build coming up, please leave it down in the comments. Also, remember, we do have that vote, and it is coming to a close today if you watch this video when it comes out. So if you have a particular preference towards Farming Town versus Port City, please be sure to leave that in the comments as soon as possible. I do read all of your comments. And just let me know as soon as possible, because I will be getting going on that here soon over this coming week when we get started on it. That's going to be real exciting. But thank you all for joining me. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.